I'm gonna be so honest, y'all, I ain't gotten a wink of sleep. But that's okay because I was in the middle of writing something just now and I caught myself. I'm like, oh, that's right, I'm a streamer now. I have to click the stream button when I'm doing stuff like this so I can have a record of it and you can go look at it. Okay. Now with that out of the way, I should put you here, put you here. Let me go open a score that I will be referencing, whose orchestration I will be stealing because I'm so evil. Very evil. Let's see, where did I store this stupid document? Yes, this is the one, eh? Okay. Let's get started, shall we? So I started writing this. If you've been on the Shirgi channel before, then you know what this is just by looking at it. There's a melody I wrote a while ago. Here it is. I wrote it a while ago. Never been satisfied with it. I'm hoping that I can expand on it now. If not, I have something else that I would like to do, but let's at least start with this because this is what I was working on literally like 2 seconds ago before I got myself a chocolate milk and sat down and recorded. And so I want you guys to double here in the C. I'm thinking I move this, or not a, I want there to be a nice solo viola part. A bit quieter, let's be a bit more generous with the dynamics. And so pianissimo. Pianissimo. Yeah, you're pianissimo. Okay, that's good. I need this to be a lot I need this to be louder. A super string quartet or something? I don't know, I just I just added 10 strings. Might add more, who knows? I need this part here to be a bit more bold. I can't really hear this part here, and I don't really want to double in octaves yet. I think it's a bit too early for that, which is why I'm thinking this probably won't sound super good in the violins compared to the viola, but I need this part to stand out a bit more, so I will copy these measures, put them in a... yeah, that's what I thought. Let's at least give it a try. Oh, you guys have a nice crescendo here. I don't know why this crescendo isn't aligning with the... there, you're supposed to look more like that, right? See, where's this melody? I can't hear it. I can hear that. I need to hear this gradual rise a bit better. And get rid of the stupid violin part, it ain't doing nothing for me. I guess I could force this to be forte here. You two. I guess you guys should have the same dynamic. I'm a little unsure of how that'll sound though. See, my problem here is that this harmony here is higher in the register than the melody. So just if they're the same volume, the higher one is going to stand out more. I need the lower one to stand out more, which is why I set this one to pianissimo. I could also do this, but I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I could also have the other harmony, like move this below this. That might work. I need to be a bit more careful though. This needs to be G. And then you definitely need to change. This might be a bit better. And then I think if I specify dynamic here, this will be a bit more dramatic. But of course I need you to immediately start for just solo piano before. Yes, I have. I have written for solo piano and I've not done it in a while. Not because I don't wanna. There's a lot of good piano repertoire that's inspired me, I just don't. No, you need to die off a little quicker than that. This is 2 beats. Die back down to piano, please. That might be a little bit too quick. There you go. Okay. I promise there'll be more counter melody stuff happening, but I just want to fill in the gaps first. And I think I'll make this harmony a bit more interesting. Right now it's very basic. Of course, we ought to fix that later. That's a future me problem. Yeah, let's do this instead. This makes me feel a little better. Having it be an inversion there. I like this F in the bass. Originally I had you take a breath here. But I think I prefer you holding that note for a little bit. Although this B2 doesn't exist on the viola unless we're willing to get a little wacky. I'm surprised they even recorded a note for it in the sound font I'm using. That's very clearly a viola, that's not a cello. Here, we can take a look back at our original here that I wrote. Whoopsies. And I shall see how this continues. Okay. And I want more than just the chords to be filled in here. I want some melody to happen. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to pull that off though. This is a it'd be easier for this A to be played in the violas. The bass could move down like this. That's a little bit more satisfying, I think. And I still want this to be a... I still want this to be a minor chord. We're missing the A again, though. Like this. Okay. I'm second guessing the harmony here, but I think I'll just work on it later. I don't want G here, let's have B instead. Keep this going. You move down. You stay here. This needs to feel a bit more incomplete. I'm definitely probably going to change some of these a bit later. Am I getting this wrong? This is the correct chord. Yeah, the melody here is going a bit too low. Originally it was an octave higher, but I think that's a little much. Hold on, let me check something real quick. Okay, we're good. So, now what do I want to do? I want to mess with these chords. I don't like them very much, and I want to change them. Something... I don't think anything has to happen in between here. Let me go pull up my composition. I used to have a much bigger cheat sheet, but for some reason it's just gone, so I just have this now, which just has a bunch of church mode symbols on it, which may or may not mean absolutely nothing to you. I shall use it as I know how to, though. I feel like we could do something chromatic here. Like maybe in the bass. I don't know how that would work though. That just sounds goofy. I changed my mind. I'm all for goofy. That's a little too goofy. I'm a huge fan of Lydian chords. They're not super different from the normal major chords, but they're just a little bit more interesting, in my opinion. So something like, you could raise this. Although melody, I want to keep the melody diatonic, strictly diatonic. So the chords have to kind of play around, dance around this line. I really like this chord. I think the 6th chord can definitely change though to something else. Maybe something a little more useful. Maybe a minor 4 chord would be interesting. I would set it over... it's directly conflicting with these notes that come afterwards. That's kind of a problem, I guess. I was really hoping that would sound a bit nicer. And these notes are definitely kinder. Could try straight up 2, 4. I already tried 6. I mean, there are variations of 6 that we can do. I really like 6 augmented. I think it's very pretty. And then again, this A sharp is probably going to conflict with this G here. A sharp. And hello, A sharp F. A sharp. Oopsies. D. I really thought that would have fit better. D. Oh wait, it's because I forgot to sharpen the F. That doesn't really help though. We just naturalize all these. I'll just make this a normal D minor chord. We can try a diminished chord for fun. And then this A natural here is a little strange. I could resolve it by having something like this, where the A flat moves directly to A natural. That just feels very odd though. Like it doesn't feel quite right. I could have you lead up like this. Makes more sense for you to go down like this though. And I think these chords need to be a little bit more, there needs to be some extensions on them, otherwise they're going to sound really lame. Okay, how am I going to go about doing this? I mean, no shame in using simple chords, but if I can get away with some wackiness, then of course I'm going to. I'll send you back to 1, maybe a minor one instead, just throwing some random stuff out there, hoping it works. Wait a second, this is E, G. You could try instead B, E, B, G, and this is conflicting too much with this here. It would need to be a lot further down in order for it to work. Even then it doesn't sound quite right. I could just stick to the C that I had before. Seal is going a bit too far down. I could modulate it so that it fits. That'd be really stupid. Which is why I'm gonna do it. E flat major, sure. I just realized these notes are the same, so they sound the same. I think D major would sound even better, actually. Too loud. Too loud. Just get rid of that. What's conflicting here? These two notes. Could raise you an octave. These slurs are also way too large. I took this melody from the Woodwind line, so it's a little difference. Maybe like this would be a bit better. Becoming kind of hard to hear these guys, even though you're so easily able to hear them here, and I'm not quite sure why that happened. More stuff needs to happen here. I shall take a look at the old version again. Add some of the bits that we were missing. There's a nice counter melody that happens. Let me do this real quick. It happens here in the more soprano part, but I can bring it down. I don't want too many parts to conflict with each other. I could just boost the volume of this, I guess. Alternatively, this part could go on the cellos, although I'd have to make it an octave lower, of course. This might be interesting. Let me... It sounds so pretty, thank you. I'm trying right now, I'm so... trying. Let me edit these slurs. There you go. Okay. I want contrabass to come in later. Here's the score that I'm basing it off of. Contrabass doesn't come in until later. The harmony is kind of dispersed. And what are the dynamics that are put here? Mostly pianissimos. I want you guys to be quiet, I really do. I think Forte is a little too hasty upon a re-listen. And then maybe here, don't die down quite yet, over here. Keep that momentum going. Man, I wish I could hear what was happening in the cellos, that'd be really nice. Wouldn't that be a treat? Okay. You know, I was thinking like, I want to split up this viola part so it's not whatever this is. And I'm like, oh, how can I do that? I don't have any instruments for you. I do. All I have to do is this. And now, I have another instrument for you so the viola doesn't have to play whatever this is. This is kind of hurts my eyes to look at. Hold this note, hold this note, and then we can delete these. This should be a bit better. I don't really want to bring the contrabass into this yet, but that's okay. Hello? Are you even playing? Something tells me this guy isn't even playing, but I mean, I guess I'm the one to blame for putting pianissimo, but like, come on, your friends are playing. Play! Make a sound. Good. A bit lower, maybe? I'm still dubious of this lift here. Software this is mu score 4. I still think it sounds prettier if this moves down. Here, we can extend out this decrescendo a little longer, I think. Just so I can still hear the melody. You're directly conflicting with what's happening over here. I want to keep you in this alto voice though, because it's very pretty to keep you in this nice alto voice. I promise I'll make your string parts more interesting. Again, I just want to fill out the harmony for now. Okay. Another stupid chord here. This is a 3. That should be an an F sharp minor chord. I don't know again why I keep blanking out on this. I guess C isn't ringing out on this chord, but C would be the dominant, so it doesn't matter. Although that cello is kind of reaching. Okay, I need to edit this harmony bit. D major, A, E. And I think here is where I'm going to have an imitation of the melody. Maybe something different, something similar. Put it in the notation software. This is MuseScore 4. Don't y'all worry about it. So many dynamics. Get out of here, get out of here. Be a bit louder and prouder, please. And then I'll have this dynamic extend a bit more. Okay, we'll see. I gotta remember to keep it simple. I'm very tempted to make it a bit more complicated, but... Okay, wait, hold on. I think it would make a lot more sense if the first cello was playing the counter melody, and the second cello was just kind of hopping along. It needs a bit more air in it, I think. See, you can't really hear these bits here. Yeah, the resonance of the cello is really outweighing the harshness of the low violas. I guess I could just make the cello softer. But again, I want to be able to hear this. Could make this quieter. Might make it a bit easier. And then you would have to be quieter. I guess you could be mezzo forte. That's good. Yeah, and then it moves into a repetition here. So this is... you guys were seeing this as a 5-bar phrase. Man, Mozart would be so mad at me for a 5-bar phrase. Muse scoring nice. Yeah, hello y'all. It's muse scoring time. Okay. So let's criticize what I've written here, because otherwise I will write 5,000 measures and it will sound like crap, and I need all of you guys to give me harsh criticism. So I'm basing this orchestration off of something that Strauss wrote, because I'm just going to give you guys a hint right now. In order to become a good orchestrator, you need to steal good orchestration. That's just how it works. You're not going to become a good orchestrator by reading thousands of books on how maybe you should probably kind of orchestrate chords. You just need to look at how someone else did it and copy it exactly. That's it. If you copy enough good orchestration, then you will become a good orchestrator. That's just how it is. Of course, you may have to put some spins on it, but I'm kind of stealing how Strauss wrote the strings here, and I need to be a bit more aware that Strauss wrote some very open harmony. So if my harmony starts getting too dense, I need to start alleviating some of that. The contrabasses, maybe I don't need the contrabass dotting, or actually, I will get rid of the cello part. I'll have just the contrabass do this. Because the contrabass in this high part has a very muted sound. I guess maybe we should start with the cello, and then we can move to the contrabass if we need a thinner sound. Let me just verify. I don't like this here. This chord might be a bit too dense. chord is this? This is 2, that they're 4 E minor, right? Aren't you guys? And I guess you should also, in accordance with the melody, rise up in volume. I'll let you hold on to that note a bit longer. Okay. I'm hesitant to make the entire orchestra step up its volume. But what the heck? What's the harm? Maybe it'd be a bit more clear if I did this. There you go. This will make my life less of a headache at the moment. Contrabass takes over here because the cello I think would sound a bit too dark. You could do a bit more of a cleaner dovetail here if we just have like this. That would be the chord, I believe. I did this to avoid a parallel octave, just to be clear. Wow, there's no C playing in this chord. This probably ought to sound pretty bad. I guess maybe the other violas will take care of it. Okay. Counter melody steps down in the bass. Good. Keep moving down. Maybe F here. There's already an F sharp here. D. This needs to ring out a bit more. I guess I could have it just keep playing mezzo forte. Doesn't that just sound a bit too loud? I would permit this, I guess. then you guys go to pianissimo. You perhaps go to like forte. That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Uh-oh. This would be a bit better, I think. There you go. Let's mess with some dynamics. No, that's a bit too dramatic. I don't like this. This is disgusting to me. Mezzo piano to mezzo forte. That feels like a crime. Maybe this would make me feel better. Maybe just piano instead of pianissimo. This feels like too drastic of a fall off. You can be like that though. And then let's do a redo of the chords here, this time with contrabass helping out. I'd be careful how I coordinate this. No pun intended. I guess I didn't specify what dynamic you guys would be going to. I don't think I have to. Yeah, I don't think I have to. So long as I'm consistent. That's really what matters. I'm not changing the dynamics of this. That would be too much of a headache, I think. Instead, we'll just have it stay the same volume. Hold on to this note, I think. No, any common tones? This F sharp is a common tone, but I don't like that it drops down to A. Hello, hello. Yeah, just get rid of it, whatever. I don't really care that much. I guess since now the violin's taking over, you guys can be slightly louder from pianissimo. Now your piano, y'all got upgraded. Okay. So what do I think so far? I think some of these chords could be better. I don't think I can actually change them without getting a bit too wacky. I think they're spaced apart good enough. I'm trying not to fill in too many gaps using these guys. Trying to keep it simple. Oh god, there's another part of this melody here that I just forgot to add. That's how I shall add it. Okay. This needs a bit more bite. And I think that just... I put these in contrabass because I thought it needed to be lighter, but I actually think now that it needs to be darker. So I will have it like this instead. Ever seen a MuseScore VTuber before? Oh, don't worry, there are a whole, like, 4 of us. We're kind of an exotic group. Let's put you like this. Hopefully the cello will sound a bit louder. Again, I kind of want to breathe some air into this, make it feel less heavy. Like, I like this part here, it sounds heavy on purpose, but I feel like it gets a little too heavy over here. And I think I need to just change the bass notes. But I really like this descending bass line, so I don't really know what to do here. I'm being pulled in 2 directions. This would be C sharp. Yeah, this would be a C sharp diminished chord. Okay. Let's go back to our reference, which was Strauss's work here. Of course, there's no way I'm even going to be able to write something as pretty as this, but I can only hope to try. Let's see here. In his work, there are some oddities going on that I did comment on before, like these weird cello movements that you can't quite hear in the recording that we played, and I'm not sure if you can hear them at all. They just sound kind of funny. But yeah, these guys are moving up here. Again, I really want to add some better chords here, but I'm not quite sure what they would be. Something a bit more chromatic, I think, would really help. Maybe not in the beginning, but certainly maybe in the developments. Okay. Could force you to be a 6 chord, perhaps. That would make this a bit more interesting if I had you guys playing like this instead. I think technically you start out on a 6. I guess I just forgot to mark that down. So the 1 chord hardly even appears. Okay. That ought to shake things up, I think. What do I want to add now? Let's see, I'm not quite sure. I think we need to add a chord in between these here. because this moves to an immediate, an immediate 3, so something needs to go in between. I could try, ooh, it doesn't even have to be 3, it could be 7, could be 5. Let me take a look here. Let's try something simple. Let's try minor 4 to flat 7. I think this should be a very easy progression. D to G. There you go. Let's have this chord last a little longer. And then hold this a bit longer so it's, and then it should be a C major chord. C, G, C, and E. Okay. That should be correct. See, that technically works, but it's not as satisfying as I'd hoped it would be. I'm about to write the chords at the bottom. It's very helpful, let me tell you what. But of course you don't have to. It's optional. 4, I could try 4 and flat minor 7. Or... that probably wouldn't sound very nice though. Yeah, that doesn't sound very nice at all. I think there needs to be another chord here, but like a similar one. So let me get rid of these ties first. Why do we all have to wear these ridiculous ties? We could try... what chord would go good here? I'm not gonna try that. I'll try a minor 2, which would be an E diminished chord. If I can, yeah, if I can write this correctly. There's no G sounding in this chord, I guess we'll just have to move down. Go to U. U move up. Okay, I like that tension. You are technically a diminished 2 chord. It would be much more satisfying if you just resolved back to 5, I think, instead of whatever I have going on here. Right, that might be a bit better. Something about that doesn't feel quite right though. I feel like there is another chord that could be more powerful here, but I just can't think of it. I really like this A. Maybe it's just too heavy. Minor 5 could be interesting. 5. What does this originally lead to? It leads to, it leads to another tonic chord. Which could be 6, could be 1. I'm willing to try minor 1, that might be interesting. But it also likes something with the C sharp, so I suppose we could try this. And whoops, A sharp. That would make you a 3 chord. And try 3 here instead. It's like almost there. But it's like not quite there, right? I feel like there's something here. I just need to arrange it properly. Like put them in the right order. I'll keep you at major. That's a lot more satisfying. G. Ooh, that would be a 4. What else has G? C, that's 7. E, that's a 3. No, that's in C major. This is D major, it's very different. G, that would be... I could do a diminished 7. I could do a diminished 2. No, I could do a minor 2. I could do a 4. None of those options I really like. Because I wanted a tonic chord here. I'll just hold on to this, I guess. Whoopsies. Nah. Doesn't feel quite right. Although I like the sound, but you know what? There's no use in going back to the good old 6 chord that we had. Just join the Discord. Oh, did you get to? That means you get to see the Wordle that I completed at 2 AM. It was truly my best moments. Okay, I would like to try here. I'll try something funky. There's this lovely chord I would like to try, the flat 6 chord. It should be... Man, that was certainly a sound. I'm going back to normal. Something pretty and diatonic. Don't ask what the symbols mean. I don't want to explain them again. And what chord was here before it was a subdominant? Subdominant, the 6 is a subdominant. I could just try a nice major 4. That's not 4, that's 5. That's not how you spell 4. That's how you spell 4. I feel like something nicer could go in between these. Oh well. Because the 6 to 4 is going to be kind of weak. So, you know, they share a lot of tones. They share these B and these Ds. And they share B's, Ds. So the transition between these chords is going to be kind of weak. I could add another passing chord in between here, which is a normal 3 chord, which would be something like C, A, here, just for kicks. There you go, see? The power of functional harmony. Beautiful. Alright. I definitely broke like 5,000 voice leading rules here, but whatever. I'm gonna keep these common tones. I feel like this 3 could be even more powerful if we replace it for a different chord. Let's see. I really like these. These are both. Here, let me just spill the beans. These are both Aeolian chords. So this diminished 2 and this minor 4, which is what I've been saying. Aeolian's a pretty safe mode to steal chords from, so I do it pretty darn often. And I think I'll do another one. I want to try using a flat 3 chord, but augmented because I am just freaky. We'll have like, that should be a F augmented chord. Maybe the other way around with these. Since this is F, you would need to be lowered too. It's gonna sound kind of weird. I hate to say this, but I think the diatonic version sounded better. Because with these passing chords, you could definitely get away with some wackier dissonances, which is what I was hoping for, but it turns out maybe not. I haven't written anything in these violas. I think that's where the counterpoint was supposed to go in, and then I just didn't write it. You know what? I'll just steal the counterpoint from here. Screw you. I do what I want. Put you in violin. Okay. Okay, that's better, but I like that this moves down while the melody moves up. I think that's okay. That sounds amazing. Thank you. This is the starter. I have another thing that I want to expand on that's for orchestra, but I caught myself up doing this, so we're writing this. Again, I want something a bit more chromatic to happen here. So I think this moves from this too. We could probably just be really cheeky. This is kind of cheaty. But you know me. I love cheating. Especially in music. There you go. Let me listen to this melody real quick. Part of me makes it want to move even higher, but I don't want it to peak too early. Because I want to keep this. I want to save it for the climax. Basically, is when I move the melody a bit higher. So I'll just let it go lower. Please don't underutilize the viola. Oh, I haven't been. I just stopped writing for it once I got the chords down. I also don't like this very much. I would prefer here if maybe it would sound better. We'll just hold this note. Change it to a minor chord. Or, no, not a minor chord. I could do like this. I hear a modulation coming up. I can do that. If I just pick the right chord to use here. I'd use a... Wait, what notes are the melody playing? This is important. C, D... What if I flatten that C? If I move you guys like this. That would technically put you like this, and then you would sound like... in order for this to work, I think there needs to be another chord that happens in between these guys. Which would be... What chord would follow this up nicely? I'm not sure. What modes have a flat 7 in them? Dorian, Mixolydian, and Aeolian. I think if I resolve this chord, it'll kind of make sense. And this is resolved to a 1 in the original. So you could move to... What note is this? And if I make you play... Where's my key signatures? Inside of the YouTube I've been missing me. Hello. Take a look-see. Bow, bow. You play A. You continue playing C. And tie this together. I make you 1. Okay, wait, no, let's hear it in context. Might make it sound a bit less jarring. You know what? I'll start it from the beginning for all you viola folks. Modulation. That doesn't sound as good as I'd hoped it would. Oh man, that sounded a lot better in my head. Dang it. Okay, well, some immediate problems that you can tell. Sibelius, and fortunately not. I'm not working in Sibelius's new score. Let's change it up a little bit. Not have that. But yeah, because in the middle here we had some kind of very not minimal, but like, well, yeah, I'll say minimal, kind of minimal harmony here. But now that I filled in all the chords, it sounds a bit too dense. I think I've written in too many notes, if you know what I mean. So I think I gotta purge a few of these and make sure that it's still playing. You know what? Let's just rewrite them. I'm not afraid to rewrite them. So 6 here. Let's have a fifth, and let's have the viola here play this here, and I guess this cello. Let's have this cello play this. Oh, dang it! I pressed Control N by accident. Don't ask me how. No, 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 go away. Oh, but I do have other projects I wish to work on. I'm gonna be working on this later. This is I literally got up at like 1 a.m. and I wrote this, and then that's what I'll be doing later. But for now we're working on this. I'll just have 2 cellos do this part. Not like the duo, but like the 2 cellos. That's a huge empty score. Yeah, this is literally just a sketch. You know, I'll give you guys a sneak peek, why not? I think these guys sounded better when they were an octave lower. And this is just a sketch, I was just writing out the chords. So that's what I was hoping to work on later, but I'll be focusing on this first. Move you guys downwards. And right, we had a minor 4 chord here. It should be anything like this. Don't know anything about symphonies from a metal perspective. How about a D sharp, D, C, B, A? We put that modulation. I think French horn would work really well with strings. They do. Horn does work well with strings. As for modulation, that's a very chromatic modulation. Not really how I think of it. We'll see. Really what matters is that it sounds good, so... Oh, one of you guys needs to play the B. You can play B. Something here is clashing. Ah, it's the G and the F sharp. Here, we can actually fix that. This is okay because this is a passing tone, but... 2 here would be E. And try this. I don't want to move this back down here because I think it'll sound too heavy. I'll show you what I mean. Maybe that's not a problem. I think once I got rid of that fifth, it was okay. I replaced it with this G here, so it makes a nice, what's it called? Minor 7 chord. And then I put B, F. That would put a lot of jumps here. It would make more sense for you to move up here. Or for this to move down like this. Which I don't really like either of those, but oh well. Three, that should be C. Yeah, that's correct. That doesn't sound as nice as I had hoped. I like this chord here, but it just doesn't sound right to me. I feel like the F note needs to be preserved. This is the best I got. Maybe lighten it up by removing one of those cellos. That feels a bit more balanced already. Okay. What I want to do now is make these lines a bit more melodic. Right now they're not very melodic, they're just kind of sitting there. Let's think. No, that wouldn't work. Also, I noticed that you guys are moving in parallel octaves. Oopsies. That ain't no good. There you go. That already sounds better, don't you think? Nice color theme, thanks. Okay. Again, I want these. I think the bass is fine. The bass is moving nicely. It's just all these other voices I want to have interesting stuff happen to them. No. I think this is good enough. Okay, yeah, that's good enough. I really wish I could have made it a bit more colorful, but oh well. I mean, I can do this. This might be interesting. If I wrote this instead. Like that. Sure, we can try that. That's, I know you guys are going to call it a secondary dominance. That's what the kids these days are calling it. I could just call it a major 2. Of course, does a chord really need to immediately follow that? You can kind of hang on this for a while since it's the high notes, literally. It is just begging for a 5 chord here. It just is. Prove it to you through chord magic. Let's see, it just wants that 5. 5, maybe even 7. No, would 7 even work here? Yeah. If it had C, E, this is C sharp, it would need G sharp. So C sharp, C, and then G sharp. That would be like this. So these are both Lydian chords, which is why I'm hoping they would work. Seven. What happens after this? Doesn't it move back to 1? It does move back to 1. And I think we could get away with making this happen. Sure, it just needs to be a little bit less sudden, I think. Maybe by having some more in-betweeny chords here. But what could they be? I don't know. We'll just have to try all of them and find out. Add parallel fifths. I'd rather die. 7. What other things have 7? Only Lydian has minor 7. Everyone else has flattened ones, to no one's surprise. Try this. Make it a bit more chromatic. I don't know why I can't hear this cello very well. That would make you 5. Whoopsies. No, not what I want. Not what I want. This is 7. Good. So if this is D minor, then D minor. What else could I do here? Could try. Phrygian chords are always very strange, which is why I like them. C, D, E, B. You mean like in the bass? You need to be a dominant chord. So either A or F, I think. What note is this? B, F sharp. This is B and F sharp. That would make this a 6th chord, which is a tonic or a subdominant chord. Yeah, wait, I guess if this is D minor now, it would have to be B flat. But I like B better, that just sounds kind of weird. What chord do I want to go here in between? If I call you 3, I could call you 1, 3. Nobody else seems to have these chords specifically. It would have to be something like 1 and 1 and 4 and maybe flat 3. We can give this a try. Although I'm worried about that B. I guess I could just change the melody. I don't know why I'm so concerned. And 4. 4 would be. What am I making? I don't know, but I'm trying. That's the gist. 3. And I could move back to 6. Flat 3. Flat 6. Let me try this. I'm just experimenting with chords here. These may or may not work. 6. Try B flat. Let's listen to these chords. I mean, I think it sounds fine, but with the melody it might not. That just sounds so awkward. Okay, we need to ignore the second violin for a second. I think this is okay. This chord just needs to come after something else. Right. This chord, there needs to be another chord in between these guys to connect it together. Let's see, 4, 3, we could try, oopsies. The chord that technically comes here in Phrygian, which is diminished. It's gonna sound really stupid, but here we go. I feel like I can make this work if I just made the melody sound a bit more correct. Wait a second, the chord here I didn't write. Is a diminished fifth. This guy is mucking up all of my harmony. Get out of here for a sec. What is this? A G chord? That's a little nicer. I'm not quite sure about this B flat though. Instead of, I could try. What chord has a B flat in it? B flats in the key of, what is this? D. Pull up the piano roll. Could be G, that would be 4. 7 would be C, E. try that instead. If I had... Oh, come on. C. CG. That's much better. There you go. Okay, cool. I'm glad I had that crisis solved. Now, what am I gonna do about this? See how these notes are going like all over the place? I don't really like that. I wish it was a bit cleaner. Something like this. Then like the voices are crossing over each other and I really don't like that. I could do like this, I guess. Although this kind of upsets me, but oh well. I could say this is a modulation to what key is this? B flat major, technically. If I want it to be fancy, from D to B flat. But whatever. I don't really care about that. I just want to resolve back something. Let's put you in 1. And then it moves to a 5th, or that 3 over the 3rd that I like. In which case that would be D minor. Over F. Just trying out something here. This would be a 4 chord. And then 4, maybe use Muse sounds? Yes, I use Muse sounds. That's what you're hearing right now. This would be oh gosh, what am I thinking? Choose Berlin Orchestra, and I am using Berlin sounds, but they're 3 Muse sounds, so they're a bit different. What was I writing here? This is a D, B, and F. This is a 1 chord. Dang it, this is not what I wanted to write. I wanted to write an F major chord. Okay, so now that I have these written in, I think we can make these a little bit more interesting. Back to 1. Okay, I think we could add maybe a bit of something here. I mean, I want to keep this and hold this 1 chord here steady because we have a lot of chords happening before it, right? I think something needs to happen in between here. We can just have a normal 2. Nothing wrong with that. Never mind, that doesn't sound very good. Moving from 1 to 6. This might be kind of a headache. Okay, that sounds better than I thought. I thought it would sound redonkulous. This is just a 6. That's not 6, this is 6. I was thinking maybe we could move up the violin even further and have it reach like a climax point, but it's only been like 2 repetitions. There's got to be more development in between that. But also, you need to shush. You're so loud. Okay, try some of this now. Let's hear it in context again. Is original progression. So yeah, we extended that phrase just a little bit longer there, held on a little longer. Okay. I think that's good for today. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I am so sleepy right now. I stayed up all night, so that's gonna be it. I will be back probably tonight or this afternoon to work on the thing that I said I was gonna work on, but I need to go to bed, so I will see you guys later. Bye.